This will change a man. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the things that a man can experience in life that'll make him have a totally different outlook on life and make him want to change. Okay. I have a list of 5 things. I'm going to start at the bottom, starting with number 5, loss of a loved one. The grief of losing someone that you love is just, it's shattering. It's heartbreaking. And it's a lot to take in. Okay. The pain of grief, that emotional turmoil that you go through when you lose a loved one it's life changing. And for a lot of men, if a man loses a loved one, let's just say it was a parent, somebody that was very close to them, or a grandparent who raised them, a lot of times that man will look back at all of the things, all of the expectations that person had for them in life, and it'll make that man want to change if he's not meeting those expectations. I know for me, my personal experience when my dad passed, I know he had high expectations for me, and I really wasn't meeting those expectations. And then, as I started to build myself, as I started to grow myself and things of that nature, improve and all of that stuff, I started looking back and I was like, man, you know what? I wish my dad was here to see, you know what I mean? All of the work that he put in to me, I wish he was here for me to see the man that I have become, because I know I wasn't really where he wanted me to be while he was still here. And so, man, it just gave me the motivation to want to work a little bit harder, man, just so that he, just so to know that everything that he wanted for me, that I could accomplish, and that, all his hard work wasn't just, in vain. So a lot of times, man, when a man loses someone that's very close to him, it kind of makes him kind of look back at his life and say, you know what, hey, grandma had high expectations for me. Grandma had high hopes, and I'm not doing that. Let me just go ahead and do what I'm supposed to do, because I know grandma wanted what's best for me, and I'm just gonna show her that that I can do it. So these are one of the things that'll make a man change. Okay. Next, loss of freedom. Man, this one I don't really have experience with, but I really do believe that, losing your freedom, when a man has to go sit down for a little while for the things that he's been doing out here on these streets, and, just got jammed up or whatever the case may be, it'll give him a lot of time to sit down and think about what it is that he's done, and, think about where it is that he wants to be in life. A lot of times I see when men go through this, they get a more of like a spiritual awakening, and then also their mindset changes, so they go through like a mental change and also a spiritual change. I've seen it all the time. Now, me myself, I ain't never had to sit down for a long time. I've been in and out of, jail for little stuff like this, 24 hours and, 48 hours, maybe if it was the weekend or something like that. But, nothing major for me, man. I was just sitting, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I did some spiritual, awakening and some mental changes in my mind as well, man, just for those 24 hours. So I can imagine what it's like for a man that has to sit down for, a considerable amount of time. And I've seen it all the time. You got to sit down for a while. You ain't got nothing but time to sit and think about the things that you've done and, where you need to be in life. And so these are one of the things that a man will go through that'll make a man change. Okay. Next, guys, financial hardship. I've been there. I've done that. Okay. I'm gonna tell you right now, it gave me a total different outlook when it came to money. Okay. I've been at the point in time, but let me tell you something, man. When I graduated high school, I started going to local community college, and if anybody knows anything about going to college, man, they got all the creditors, the credit card companies and stuff just lined up with tables and tables. Yeah, just get a credit card. So me, I got every credit card possible, man. I was just running around living the life, man, charging up all these cards, and then later on, man, all this stuff came back to haunt me. I wasn't paying the credit card bills, and later on, 2-3 years later, when it's not even a thought, man, I'm out at a restaurant, trying to have a nice dinner with a young lady, man, and I swipe a card, man, and then my card don't go through. You know what I mean? My debit card didn't go through because, 2 years ago when I was swiping my cards in college, that done caught up to me, and so now my bank account is locked up. You know what I'm saying? They didn't put a lock on my bank account, and I'm trying to swipe my debit card after dinner. The transaction didn't go through. It was just embarrassing, man. Been there, done that, man. Had to eat a Pop-Tart for breakfast, man, and ramen noodles for dinner, just because, man, I jammed myself up, so financial hardship will make a man really change his life, man, change his spending habits, man, stop trying to ball out until you fall out and all that craziness. That did it for me. That definitely changed my financial look on finances, man. It was a huge thing. So that right there, I'm speaking from experience, that changed me. And I'm sure a lot of guys been in that situation. I know one of the things that I just cannot do is ask for money. That is the most belittling experience for me, is having to ask for money. And my pops, man, did that to me, man, when I was younger and I had to ask for money. And he would just, man, sit me down, man, and just, kind of just put me through the ringer. But he would just make me feel so bad. And he was just, listen, as a man, you have to be able to be self-sufficient. And so, man, financial hardship, that'll definitely, in my opinion, make a man change. Next, guys, one of the things that'll definitely make a man change, a bad medical diagnosis. I'm telling you right now, man, when you in that doctor's office and the doctor's looking at you and looking at the lab work and looking at the paperwork and then put the little thing on the screen and they looking up at that and they just, shaking their head and hey, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is what we found in your blood work, or this is what we found in the x-ray, or this is what we found in the MRI, whatever it is. And you get, some bad news, that'll definitely make a man change right there. That man will become spiritual overnight. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man, it'll make a man change, man. It happened to me. It was nothing major, man. Just, the doctor told me that I had hypertension, man. I had high blood pressure. That made me get in the gym, go harder. I lost a lot of weight, and then now I no longer have that high blood pressure, man. But I'm telling you, a medical diagnosis, an unfavorable medical diagnosis, would definitely make a man change. He'll look on life totally different. All right, and then man, last but not least, man, I'm making sure I didn't leave anything out. Last but not least, y'all already know what I'm gonna say, man. A breakup. Y'all already know that, a breakup. And I'm not talking about, man, you just been dating a woman and she ghosts you and y'all been dating for a couple of weeks and then she ghosts you or something like that. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a major breakup. I'm really talking about like a divorce. A man who goes through a divorce and just loses his family, loses his kids, his home, his car, and man, that right there, it totally changes a man. It changes a man, and it's nothing like it. You understand what I'm saying? When a man goes through a divorce, right, or a man goes through a major breakup, I'm talking about like long-term relationship. You may have bought a house together, or you live together, whatever it is. When a man goes through that major breakup, he's pretty much in that breakup as almost like he's been through everything else that I said on the list, right? You understand what I'm saying? Financial hardship. A lot of men go through a huge financial hardship when you're going through a breakup, right? When you lose, you know what I'm saying, the woman that you love and y'all are going through a breakup, it's almost like losing a loved one. Like your body, your mind can't really tell the difference. It doesn't differentiate. It just knows that it's loss of a loved one. And so the pain that you feel when you're going through a breakup is like that of the pain that you feel from grief from losing a loved one. It's like it's the same pain. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, man, going through a breakup is the number one thing that'll change a man. Now, what'll happen is it can change that man for the better. It could change that man for the worse. A man will either do one of two things. He'll either become better or he will become bitter after going through a breakup. You understand what I'm saying? That totally falls on that man. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the things that I feel would definitely change, change a man. Okay. So those are my top 5, and there are some other things that I didn't put on the list, but I put these things on the list because all of the things that I have on this list cause some type of suffering, and in my opinion, when somebody goes through some type of suffering, that really causes them to sit down, feel the pain, feel the grief, the hardship and look at themselves internally and say, what did I do to cause this? Or what can I do to fix this? You understand what I'm saying? Like it causes a man to look at himself internally and just see where he is lacking to know where he must improve. And it's that simple. There are other things in life that, a man can experience that can pretty much change his life, but not as I can't even think of the word right now, but it doesn't cause suffering. These are the things that cause suffering, and these are the things that really you don't want to suffer. You know what I mean? Suffering is a hardship, and most people do not enjoy suffering. So when you suffer, it makes you look at, how can I never go through this again? You understand what I'm saying? How can I never go through this again? And so it will cause you to change so that you never have to feel this type of suffering again. Look, I went longer than I should. These are the things that I believe will truly make a man want to change. Now, I'm not saying that a man will definitely change when he goes through these things, but these are the things that I feel a man will go through. And if he is going to change, these things are going to be the things that'll make it change. Okay. Y'all be good. Catch y'all on the next one.